Hello and welcome. I'm going to do a very quick look at the markets, mainly a raw report. First, starting off within the silver market. This is a spreadsheet in which I use to make the charts for the videos in which I present. So I'm just going to quickly go over what I see, which is this support level. Whether it will be such or not, time is still to tell. It has pierced below it. It has stayed below it. It has not continued to accelerate much below it. So it can still pierce below it and be that of support. I'm looking for this previous resistance, of course, now to be, or previous support to now become resistance on any next legs higher, which would be a move within the 18 average band. And wherever this happens to bottom, support established. But if this thing just happens to tank really mainly below 17, then watch out. Who knows what the club will be up to at that point, because well, they can do these kinds of things because of how the markets at this point are being presented to us or how they are being played. Let's move on to Bitcoin on the daily chart, which yesterday had a down session, rebounded a bit, and it has now today since went lower, correcting within this 18 average band, a nice long uptrend. And it looks to me as if it's going to make a move towards this previous high, or all-time twice hit high, as it was hit years back. And we'll see if time determines that, but I don't think it'll test this level, although it might. But I would be very surprised if it breaks below the 1050, 1060 barrier, expecting the test to come in at around 1140 if any such occurs. As far as it on the hourly chart is concerned, I use bitcoincharts.com, and let's take a look at the hourly chart. This is a weighted 18 average of closes. So the lows would be somewhere in here. The highs would be somewhere up here. And it's been resisting this for quite some time. So until it can at least get above the previous high in around 1230, then this thing has not regained its bullishness. It is bearish on this time frame. And myself, I made a very small short bet up here, covered most of it down here, put a new short order up here, covered it down here, and that little bit that I shorted up here, I have at the previous high of 1140, the twice hit, of course, as that should be a resistance area that will act as support. So that's how I'm playing it, and then no need to get out until, like I said, this thing can stop or showing me that it's going bullish, that is. So that would be it for that. Now, as far as the site is concerned, okay, actually I was just following this is my bankroll that I was just fooling around, just I was bored yesterday, and then Bella went up. It's pretty much all done on that. But anyway, with that being stated, let's take a look at I'm just writing this little book now because bottom line, if I'm going to be getting serious over this, which I am planning to do, then I better at least have some good information, because my plan is to take micro amounts of Bitcoins. I just deposited 5 just now, 0.5 or 0.05. My sum deposit is 0.25 now. I have made 5072685 at this point. And that is with the Bella coin. And the reason why I did that was because I had nothing left. I got so much on orders that I might as well put it in for investing this way. So I'm going to put in what I need. I had to put another little bit in, as it's just a cool dream to be able to grow like a decent percentage of a single Bitcoin. And what I'm trying to get into 20. That's my goal. Turn this into 20 Bitcoins with very little help on the deposit level, because what my plan is with Bella, This is, I'm hoping and not expecting, I guess I should say expect, because I mean the indicators tell me so, but looking for this thing to do well and move a double in price, and thus bring me another 0.05, 0.06 out of this during its move. Now, most of it I have transitioned into day trading, although I'm trying to hold my balance up. I'm down to 1744. It's been over 2000 for quite some time because I've been selling a lot of what I've been because it's been rallying lately. Whenever it rallies, I sell. Whenever it sells off, I buy. And this is mainly what I've been going through. So I just had 2 new transactions that I can see here. I sold some Dash and I bought some LBC. So let's first take care of some Dash, which is priced in at 1. What did we sell? Okay, sold it at 369. It doesn't matter too much where I want to buy it at. It does matter after I buy where I sell it at, though. Obviously 250. I know I got orders in there already, but I got a lot. This is the one I want to go next, go really aggressive into. But I'm waiting for that pullback. I talked about it in an earlier video to do such. Right now I'm just playing around with it, trying to slowly go from microscopic stakes to a little bit higher. So now switching this up to a short-term chart that takes forever to load. Bring me back to the Commodore 64 days. It really does feel that way. Okay, previous resistance in at 368. That looks like a good spot to buy. Alright, and then this here, this looks promising. This is very promising, actually. I'm going to be talking about market depth more in the videos, but also in the ebook that I'm doing as well. But my last buy, my 359.29, where is that priced at? That's, oh, it's way down here. So yeah, let's get an order in for 368. And for now, until I get bigger, I'm just beating what I did last time as far as a bet. So 0.016 I had. So let's go to 0.02. Still, as I stated, I'm waiting. And I'm probably making a mistake on this, but I mean, this chart isn't moving much in comparison to the last few days, really. Next one, I ended up buying some LBC, 75 shares at 1630. Oh, this has been a fun code because it just keeps going up and down little bits. So if you look at this, I mean, it's probably already at like 1660 now. But it's like, okay, buy 1650, buy 1620, buy 1599. Then I sold at 1662, 1689, bought at 1641.26, sold at 63.82. It's gonna sell it again. Actually, it's not the stock that I'm thinking about or the chart that I'm thinking about, but there's one that I just keep buying and selling the range so easy. It's just fun to do that. I mean, if you get an easy 2% move in a few minutes, why not? And now the Commodore 64 shows high volume on the 5-minute time frame. Of course, you have to see the larger time frame to see what that volume really means. But just seeing right now with the price in at 1648, which is 18 cents higher, so I can already technically look to sell. And the sell order, we have 1697. So, I mean, if that's I'll go to the front of the line. And let's sell it all. Okay, so that's what I'll keep doing. So once that sell order comes in, I'm going to look to buy back again, pretty much like I did within the Bella, or not the Bella, but the Dash trade. That would be. So now as far as this book that I'm doing, how I'm doing this is I'm going to put the code in. This will be bolded. This will be in bigger letters. This is to make it easier to read so you can go through it in alphabetical order. I'll probably put a table of contents with the top 20 codes, I guess, top 25, so you can see where the C or the R letter is, what page number, because I think it's going to be about 30 plus pages. I don't know. We're on page, I got 5 right now. And I'm only mainly written about the charts that I don't care much about right now, meaning they're long term or I'm just writing them off. As anything in which is relevant right now, well, I'm going to write that tomorrow because it's going to take me maybe a couple days to write this. And I'm also getting in the flow of writing it. So this paragraph is a little bit different than the ones that I've just recently done. I wrote this at 8:37 in the morning. It's 1:51 p.m. or close to 1400 hours. But in here, I'm going to write, like, this is the example. 50/50 was support from last spring. It might have been 2 springs ago, but it was a key support level that didn't hold well tested last November. This is also unchecked for grammar, too. I'll be doing that as well. It has been in a downtrend showing dead stock characteristics. However, on many occasions, they contain high volatile rallies after being crushed with the following timeline. And these are the moves that occur. So you're saying like 24 to 30. That's a pretty decent percent of 30. And then another 30% gain. And another close to 100, like 60% gain. This one close to doubles. So what's the next one going to be? It's priced at 3,200. So it's already broken below that support. And as I write in here, I'm going to write what I do with every single one. This one might be a little hard to calculate. Because of such, I have no orders and nothing planned. I may need to see fundamental news before considering anything here, and it's unlikely I'm going to see anything fundamental anyway. And then this one here is the only one that I wrote that I'm actually barely active with. So this chart is trying to revert the downtrend, and well, you can read this for what you need because for what it's worth. And then this one here, I'm going to do it later. I'm going to put, just so it's easier to read, I'm going to put a star there. But all of these different things, it's set up so that when you're looking at the chart, you want to know what I consider my view on it, how I'm playing it. You're going to be able to see it that way. All the Fibonacci numbers, I'm going through a lot of them. Market depth stats, they're huge, and I wasn't even looking at them as I was writing this. I look at this quite often. It's been what I've needed within my Bella chart to actually help me, give me the edge for me to actually make the aggressive play that I have on Bella, which I'll probably write a whole page on that one, maybe a page and a half. Definitely Dash is going to be worth a page and a half as well too. But I'm not going to write that to near the end. So I'm probably going to release it in the morning at some point. I'll finish it off in the morning and then release it around lunchtime, New York Standard Time. And then it'll be available for download at that point. So this one here is the one that I found very interesting. So this is a good freebie for anybody on Cure. This is a long-term play, and it's priced in at 39.06. And when I do the pricing on here, it's the first 4 digits after the 0. It's all point zeros with everything because it's all priced in Bitcoin, which is worth more than any of these things. It's got the volume, which is 1.5. That's low, but when you're playing long term, who gives a shit, basically? It's still going to give you the gains that you need. So this is another dead chart, which last summer had a huge boom from 5,000 to 46,000 and crashed it all fast. Well, it needs grammar work here. This is my rough copy. Well then, what do we do here? We see the moves since the fact. I mean, that needs grammar work too. Since this is like a timeline I got to write. But the numbers is what I want to talk about. It had to move from 83 to 21. Its down target Fibonacci level is this. And then this one and this one. Interesting pattern. And then when it did break below the 6100 level, it went to 43.26 up to 8,400. Okay, so you buy at 47, 46, and 48. You hold your losses because you're playing the long-term game, and you're going to start selling this baby at 6,000 all the way up now. In fact, you might have been even trying to sell at 10,000 and then holding on to some shares. Who knows? But with that being stated, 28.55, and then another range of this was a 29.63. So again, 2 matching numbers, and it goes down to 28. and its bounce is to 5,000. It's got a down target of 1957, but it went down to 2210. So obviously buy order is not into play. So I wouldn't go on that number anymore. It's almost like at this point I would have put a buy order in for 1957, but I would have deleted it after it went from 2200 all the way up to 78. There's no way, because it's pretty much a matching low now. And I'm not going to buy on a 10-11% break, but it's got a down target of 1,000. So I wrote in here the last move was 2 months ago, meaning it is due for a bounce. But where? The current price of 3,800 is holding on like a thread with very weak market depth. The last quick move to 2210 is a good spot for my first buy order, looking for 50% gains or better, but happy with 30% as well. With the and that's because right now price is at 39.06. So 39.06 move to 2210. That's half its value. So to me, that would be the first good spot. Also, when you play gains between 30 to 150%, then you don't want to stop out. And then I state in here that these are my two buy orders for this, is at 2210 and 1,000. And then Dash, DCR, these are good ones to trade, but I want to talk about how it currently is looking when I process this. I've already told you how I like Dash on the long-term time frame, and that hasn't changed. DGB, Dodge, I'm doing this all in order of alphabet, so I'm at EXP. So again, I hope to be done within 48 hours, hopefully even by tomorrow if I could, but I can only do this for like a half hour, and then I gotta take a break. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. And for this, basically how this is gonna work is you would send me a Bitcoin payment of whatever you think this is worth, and then basically send me your email address. I would guess it'd be the only way. Or send me an email with details, either or. I'll give you more details on that when this is done, but first I'm putting the information in, then I'm going to edit it into an ebook so that it looks good, even have a little quick write-up about overall different strategies, different things like that. And again, probably going to be over 40 pages long. I don't know, because I'm just going to keep writing and writing until it is done. And I'm doing this for myself, because if I want to turn like a half or a third of a Bitcoin into 20 in less than a year for that matter, then I kind of need to be on top of the ball to ensure that I'm able to get these big gains. And you need to do all this type of work, and this work is not fun. It is totally tedious. I don't like it, but I like making money, and it's worth the work to make it. So I do this, and then after this, it's going to be less work to update this, because I'll go to C2, for example. Broken chart with support hanging on by a thread, 68 to 70, has small potential for a pop to maybe rally to high 90s. I will not put an order there. Maybe between 25 to 32, which is December lows, I will take a shot at, but I am not involved here. See, what this is important, because what's been really ticking me off over the last week and change is I see, like, maybe I'll look to see big losers and winners for the day, because I like those because they can at least be day traded. But I want to see at least where they stand, and I end up like researching the same charts like 5-6 times over, because my short-term memory is not that good. In fact, I could only remember one price chart offhand right now, and that would be the Bella chart. And while it may be cure because I can look at it, but with that being said, I don't remember things. I write it down my way so I can look at it, and then when I update this, it's going to take me like no time at all to. In fact, I might even just not even update it if nothing happens, just keep the same writing in play. So thank you for tuning in. I'll talk to you later on. I'll put a video up tonight as well, and take care. Bye-bye.